Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode, the inaugural, the debut, the unveiling of the Dig on America podcast. I am Jason Dutch. Welcome to the new show, the rebranded. If you are tuning in and thinking you're listening to Voice from the Underground, Voice from the Underground is dead.
Who killed it?
It died along with QAnon. They both died the same day. But VFU is dead. DOA, baby, is alive and here to stay. New president, new podcast. Same three shitty hosts. And I am Jason Dutch, the leader of these hosts and co-conspirator. With me today is the eldest of all of Bebe's kids, Mikey. Antifa Beiniemy, and I vow for the last time to call you Antifa, but in celebratory remembrance of VFU, your Antifa ties are dead. You are now Mickey QAnon Antifa. So welcome to the show.
New president, who dis?
That is Michelangelo Beiniemy, ladies and gentlemen, producer extraordinaire, and the man with the green screen on. The man without the green screen on, looking very educated and light-skinned with his lights on and everything, with that nice smile.
This is my window behind me. This is live.
He's playing Among Us, and that's the starship in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm orange. We got cyan and black. Who is the imposter? Who is voted off the show? I vote cyan. Welcome to the show, Big Hamas. What's happening, Big Hamas? You terrorist, you.
Man, my fucking wife is shady as shit right now, dude.
What her done did?
Hey, so right before we came on, I said, "Hey, will you bring me some chips?" Right? So what does she do?
2 chips.
She brings down the whole bag of chips and throws it on the bar. So now, if I want to get a chip, I can't get a chip like that. It's bad enough that I'm chewing, right?
Way to ruin the first show.
That didn't take long.
No, I mean, we're going all the way back to the early days of Voice from the Underground with you chewing on the air.
Hey, and as she's walking away, I'm like, "Oh, you shady as shit." She goes like this.
Gave you the middle fiddle.
She gave me the finger. Oh my god!
She got you right where she wants. You know you can't.
Oh my!
You can't get up.
Say anything. I can't get up and chase her.
No.
But you know what we were doing before I got on, so she's like, she feels like I'm leaving her high and dry. Laundry? I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to leave you high and dry.
Jesus Christ! It was a nice try, but it didn't work out. So
that's all we got for this week, folks. See you next time. Jeez.
He sabotaged the show after. This is the shortest inaugural
episode ever, dude.
We'll see you next week. Maybe. Of course, we'll have one listener.
Right, if we don't get right.
Every single
my ears were bleeding. 12 million.
Every single listener listening to the audio of this in a day or two is going to have an accident when you fucking start screaming. Yeah. What the fuck was that?
Hey, guess what? Welcome to the DOA, bitch.
Welcome to the DOA. Okay, so we're going to handle the Humidor a little bit differently. So tell me what you're smoking there. We'll get your ratings and we'll play the music later. What are you smoking today? What are you going to be puffing on during the pod?
Why the hurry, Dutch? Why are you in such a hurry today?
Oh, because we're having shorter shows. Now go.
So I just lit up, as you could tell. It's fresh. The LFD Double Ligero. All right. So guess what? I've just lit it up. And I'll be, I've got it paired with a nice little red wine today. So
fancy pants.
We'll see what happens. LFD is known for being full-bodied, and right now off the bat, that's what I'm getting. But we'll talk about it later. Going with the chlorophyll.
All right. Well, the chlorophyll has been fantastic today, guys. So, real quick recap on the day. We'll get to in just a second here, but for those of you who have listened to this show when we were Voice from the Underground, a couple quick changes to let you know about. We touched on this last time, so I'll just basically make statements here. we're not going to really focus on any pop culture during this show anymore. It will sprinkle its way in here and there because we still love The Mandalorian and The Boys and all that shit, right? We love Marvel. Right. We love sci-fi.
We love our sports.
We love our sports. So especially if there are issues, along the Kaepernick vein, that would.
Like right now, what's going on with Eric Beiniemy? Anyway.
That's actually something that we can bring up. I was thinking about that earlier, but so that most of that will be gone. Although we are, and I'm going to hold Big Haas's feet to the fire on this. We are going to do a number of shows a week, many of which may just be on YouTube. They may not go to audio. I know I'm going to commit myself to doing at least 2 separate shows a week. Try to keep them to 10, 15 minutes each, just to talk about relevant topics. Sometimes it might be about pop culture. Sometimes they might be about systemic issues, but that's really where our focus of this show is going to be. We got Trump out of office. We are responsible. This show, we single-handedly by ourselves got Trump out of office. We're taking all of the credit for it. It was amazing. It was amazing. They're saying that people who say things, saying we did it. They're saying we did amazing things. They're telling us that we had numbers like you wouldn't believe.
I thought we got rid of his ass, and here you go talking like him. We just got rid of him.
So it leads me to the first question. I want to ask this about Trump, the outgoing president today. Who the fuck was they all this time?
You know who they was.
The Pulp Fiction line, they, who are they? They who talk. Never understood who they was. And also, along with the death of VFU, as I mentioned before, let's have a moment of silence for the QAnon conspiracy theory. Would anyone like to say any words about the dearly departed?
I've been a Q all along.
We know.
I'm the pappy. I'm that baby's daddy.
It's been so I had to drive up here today because my internet issue at the apartment is not fixed, but it will be fixed in a matter of a day or two. So I drove up here to do the podcast, and as I drove up here, the 2.5 hours, I just had some delicious. I just listened and watched QAnon channels and listened to QAnon channels. It's so fucking damn delish. I mean, the comments, the crying, the QAnon tears. Look, people,
I got a cup ready for some white tears.
Oh, that's what I'm drinking right now. It's salty, but sustaining.
They're very sustaining.
Please put this up to your QAnon face so I can get some QAnon tears
and whack
take my vitamins with.
Next time, remember to use the side of where the microphone's not at. You got to retrain yourself to be right-handed.
There.
Now,
there.
Now,
what you gonna do, Dutch?
I'm gonna find a new podcasting partner.
Oh, you gonna leave us like TJ?
I'm just gonna do.
Hey, John Stone your way out of this one.
I got to work at 5 a.m. I got to work at 5. The baby's crying. Got to go. I'll be back in 2 hours. 2 years.
No baby sleep.
My baby. No, hopefully she's not, because I'm hoping to have some fun after the podcast and celebrate the death of Q. But what's so
she's a Trumper, so she might be too sad to.
No, she's not one of those. In fact, she called me yesterday. The wife, she's a conservative. She called me an asshole. Okay. But that's like calling me by my name. Yeah, it's nothing new about that.
She say that in the morning to keep her teeth white.
She does. Yeah, it's along with the toothpaste. And it's her toothpaste. It says active ingredients: fluoride, baking soda, and swear words. But we had the kids, are in school, and she's like, these people are all pissed off about their Messiah not being president. She's like, I'm keeping the kids home from school today. And I'm like, really? Okay. I'm not going to argue with that. She's like, I don't want them to be in school if anything crazy happens. So we get to see this firsthand because both of our parents are not believers in QAnon, but believers in like, well, her parents might be, but mine are more of the prophetic style, which I know QAnon runs around that track a little bit, but from the faith-based perspective, like Victory Channel, who we're gonna have so much fun with. We have so much fun with them. You know, they're still doing election coverage right now.
Say what?
Right now, Victory Channel is doing election coverage.
Say what now?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you guys lost.
On Inauguration Day.
They're still doing election coverage.
I told you.
On Inauguration Day.
I told you people are addicted to that attention, man. They need them numbers, so they're going to put... Look, election's been over. This motherfucker done walked into his office and stuff. All right, guys, we got the numbers coming in every second. They'll just say anything to stay in the limelight. It's all right.
It's like, don't look, and therefore, so the funny thing about Trumpism, MAGA, is you have really like 4 different defined movements that all come together. You have the evangelicals, you have your normal conservative Republicans, you have the militia, the militia base and the white supremacists, etc. And then you have the Q people, who are an amalgamation of all of those, but who also believe in other weird stuff. The evangelicals are really having a rough day, along with Q, because Q, I mean, here, I'm going to share with you guys my screen real quick here. And I'm just going to show you what I pulled up. A couple of comments that I pulled up. You should be able to see this here.
Make sure you got the right tab.
Oh yeah, I close out all the Pornhub beforehand. Now this guy here, Hannah Holmes, this gal. Well, I'm the official laughing stock of my family now. Awesome. KT Isley, this is an embarrassment. Gordy Max, here come all the excuses now. And then the Barefoot Patriot, still holding firm. Q said noon. I will start kicking people for their attitudes. We are patriots. You stand here and you hold the line with us, or you can leave. Your choice.
Hold the line.
Yeah. Hold the line. Yeah. Come on, man. You got to hold the line with us, dude. We're patriots.
Remember all that hullabaloo about all the capitals, and it was like 2 dudes showing up to each capital, like, where is everybody?
Yeah, and they were praying in on Victory News. They were praying in like and saying,
said noon, but he meant by the Chinese alphabet.
Yeah. So now they're already. So this is there's a lot to talk about here, a lot to digest here, but like afternoon, it just went crazy. Like I tuned in around 3 o'clock about 2 o'clock Pacific, which would be about 5 o'clock Eastern, which is when Q's clock went, much like the Mayans. Yeah. And Y2K. This is going down with Y2K and the Mayans. Okay. I mean, this is what we're dealing with here. They just started losing it. They're like, I can't believe this happened. Someone please tell me that Trump is still in office. Please. I mean, these comments were just, they were begging, pleading, saying, wait, the one lady even posted, she said, she's like, is there a delay in the stream? Because I'm not seeing them storm the steps of the Capitol. And Biden is going to be arrested any moment for pedophilia.
Yes.
Got him.
Yes.
And this just in, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Charles Taft. Yes. Charles Taft there on, Booker. Yes. Booker. Yeah. You have news too. Oh, Emil. Yeah. You have all sources are reporting Obama has just been arrested, everyone. Okay. This is breaking news. Barack Obama has been arrested. Hillary Clinton killed while trying to be apprehended. This is all real. Yeah, it is reported.
Reports are saying that Barack Obama was arrested drinking the breast milk of an Ethiopian refugee.
I'm sorry. Obama was just
ripped the teeth as well. He ripped the teeth out of the baby's mouth and started suckling it himself.
Yes, and Hillary was
said, "Yes, we can." He was chanting, "Yes, we can," as he did it.
In his
From what I understand, he said, "Si se puede."
In his tan robe. He was wearing his tan robe. Everyone else wearing a black robe. Obama was wearing a tan robe, and I regret to say he was just also killed by police while sitting in the back of the car, handcuffed.
So as the lawyer of
he
the
did
podcast,
something. We'll find out what he did wrong, though. We know he did something to deserve.
Apparently, he shot himself in the back while handcuffed.
As the lawyer of the show, I'm gonna need y'all to watch what phrases you're saying. Even
Allegedly,
as joke. Thank
allegedly,
you.
allegedly.
Be mindful that.
We have new news from Bobby D. Biden has been revealed as a lizard alien. This is true. Okay, this is 100% accurate. We always tell you the truth here.
We all knew that.
Dig on America. The dig on America is Joe Biden, lizard prince.
Oh, easism. That's a good one.
Homie.
That's a good one.
Donald Trump has just yes. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing that Trump is re-entering the White House with the military standing at attention, cheering. Yes, cheering because they're going to get heated seats in the new tanks. Yes. Good. This is good. Bad for us because, as you see in our handle, we are the apparent propaganda arm of the deep state. That is who we are. We are the deep state. So any moment now, the FBI will not be coming to Haas's house because they're corrupt. They're going to jail too. But the Secret Service itself will be breaking down Haas's door and likely killing him in front of us. Mikey also.
Nope. Keep my name out of all that.
He certainly will also be arrested. Myself, they may take me in, they may not. I might be able to talk my way out of it. So it's just terrible, terrible. Yeah, but yeah, QAnon has been they're fleeing like when you go to a crappy apartment and you turn on the lights and the roaches run. And it's just hilarity. Don't
remind me.
What do you so Mikey, what are your parting words to those still hanging on to the Q theory?
Bye, Felicia.
As my man,
a longer statement.
As my man Ruby Red said in Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm.
Buzz, motherfuckers, buzz. Peace. 2 fingers. Them 2. Get out.
See you when I see you.
So they were one of the funny things that I heard today from the Great Awakening. The storm is here. The storm, we just reported on the storm, right?
Yeah.
So the storm was real. The Great Awakening YouTube channel, who was complaining about how he's being censored while all his videos are still up, including the one that implies Obama drinks blood, which so I don't see how you're being censored if that video still is online right now. But they had a new theory. Two of them actually. One of them is that perhaps Biden is actually in it with Trump.
Oh, see.
And number 2 flies in the face of that theory because there's 2 different sects here now. Pause. That Biden
pause if you can't spell.
Yeah, but that Biden is, and they were trying to give evidence for this by showing pictures of him, that Biden is actually not Biden. He's either a clone or an android.
Whoa,
that's pretty cheap.
Wow,
it's cheap to have an android.
Yeah, and not only Biden, but Eminem.
Not M2.
Yeah,
he's an android
or a clone. They're not sure.
He's a rap god. I know that for sure.
Yeah,
he certainly is. He's Godzilla.
You get you get all the fun facts here. I got to get used to saying "dig on America." I keep wanting to say a voice from the underground, but
so let me help you out. This is how it's gonna be easy to remember. DOAP is dope.
DOAP, yeah, you know me. You down with DOAP? The homies. Yes. And for the ladies, DOAP means something different. The first 2 letters are the same, but the last 2 are something different.
Oh my God, help me.
It's the longest, loveliest, leanest podcast on the airwaves.
I don't know what's
Big
happening.
Haas smoking cigars and Mickey Antifa burning up hallways.
Is this what we've become?
Oh God!
Are we?
Look, this
are
is
we
just
all? Are we all high on Trump being gone? Is that what this is? We're all a little inebriated.
We're all giddy. We all giddy. We
intoxicating
Trump drunk. We Trump drunk.
I am high. I am high off Portillo's. The one in
where you get Portillo?
Where you get Portillo's at?
Buena Park, California.
Really?
Oh, they doing good things. Portillo said, "I'm about to make all the dollars."
Yeah.
It's been open. It's been open for a while. I was there when Dick Portillo owned it still, but I pulled into it and I had my Cubs hat on.
Pause.
Like, are you okay? Like, is this seriously? This show turns into like Beavis and Butthead. He said, "Dick."
No, you talking about pulling in, dude. Talking about pulling in, dude. Got all them kids, so we know ain't no pulling out.
Pulling out is the hard part.
You know, normally I get irritated with Big Hussein because his mic is too far away from his mouth. Today, it's clearly very close, and he's screaming into it like a banshee. So
these things do happen.
See how they animalize black people all the time?
See how he did that immediately?
He's like immediately.
Just a thug.
He's a thug banshee.
Beast.
You know those banshees, all they do is
monster.
They scream and then they bang indiscriminately.
And then they dance. They're dancing all the time.
Some sort of silver-backed African beast back there.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's gonna grab himself a few white women
at the top of the Empire State Building.
Been there, done that. They loved it.
That was some pop culture news we won't talk about though. Is Godzilla King Kong coming out this year? I am excited for that. But before we talk about anything else, so we had mentioned QAnon. We mentioned the death of QAnon and the apparent rebirth of QAnon with Joe Biden as its new leader. The question I want to ask you guys is: what do you think is next for the? I mean, I think one of the reasons why they're so pissed is because at 12 today they were supposed to arrest everyone. That's what they said, and they're waiting. They're like, well, maybe it was 12 o'clock Hawaii time. You know, we just have to wait. We don't know where Q is at. What do you think is next for? We'll touch on the evangelicals in a second, but what do you think is next for Q? Haas, is it? I mean, in reality, do you think this movement's going away, or do you think that they're just going to continue to evolve to the next fancy pants theory?
Oh, they're going to continue to evolve. The hate doesn't die that easily. You seen Voldemort?
Hey, you can't say that name, man. Come on, man. You know you.
I said it. I said it.
See, you're giving them power.
I ain't hard to find. Anyway, they're going to all be in the Patriot Party when Trump launches the Patriot Party.
But they're mad at him now. They're mad at him because they're saying and this is what I heard constantly.
Really,
a whole ride home. They're mad at him. Part of them are.
Mm-hmm.
They're mad at him because they said he has all the evidence and he didn't arrest them. Why?
Yeah, why not?
He must have been bought out. Is what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what it is. That must be what it is. It couldn't be the fact that he was lying the whole time and that Q was just a big farce the whole time. You know? It couldn't be that. It couldn't be the simplest explanation. It has to be some contrived, ultra intricate plot that involves everybody in the world except, him.
Well, that, and when he did his farewell address this morning at the airport, he was talking about his family, and then he mentioned Mike Pence, and not one cheer. So, but Mikey, where do you think? What do you think? Where is Q going? What do you think is next for this movement? Is it gone, or will we see it get even crazier?
I think Q's real IP address probably got banned, just like all the rest of these crazy motherfuckers. That's why Q ain't saying nothing.
No. You haven't heard the news. You haven't heard?
What?
Q died of COVID.
Oh, see.
Oh,
gotta wear your mask, people.
Yeah,
wear your mask. Wash your hands.
Damn it!
Sanitizer.
He disappeared. He disappeared right after the election. It has to. It's COVID. He must have died of COVID.
It's the only
in fact, I got a question. Were people donating?
It's true. It's true. No, we're not saying it might be true. It's true because we said it's true, and therefore it's true. They tell me. People tell me this. Smart people.
Were people donating to Q? Was there a Cayman bank account or an Ethereum account for Q? And He got all the money he needs, so now he's chilling on the beach somewhere.
Well, he can't come out now because they'll throw him up there with Mike Pence.
Well, he's on quarantine, so he's got 14 days of quarantine.
That's what Q stood for.
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
So he'll be back.
Got to open your third eye.
Man, you're not using your.
You gotta decalcify your pineal gland, dude.
Your gland is all calcified, bro.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I see that?
It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you.
Why didn't I?
All right there, dude.
They kept saying
all right there in your chakras, man.
Oh, they kept telling me to think for myself.
Yo, you got some sage in the house you can burn real quick?
Man, I got some turmeric.
Turmeric.
Dude, you gotta put that shit in a paste on the bottom of your feet, man.
And then wear a gray sock on your left foot.
Gray sock on the left foot, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gotta center yourself, man. You could have seen this. It was crystal clear. Q, quarantine anonymous, because he's ashamed, man.
Yeah, man.
Think about it.
David McGinnis is asking how long you guys are running for. So we will be signing off this show after about 30 minutes from now. And we're going to hold ourselves to that because the long videos don't do any justice. So, see again, Beavis.
That's a frivolous pause. That's a frivolous one.
Black
now that I know that it gets on your nerves, man. I'm gonna do it all the time.
Black Beavis and Puerto Rican butthead over here. I'm sorry, Dominican.
Why you keep calling me Jesus? I look Puerto Rican to you.
Oh, essay. You look like it. All right. So what do you guys got? What before we talk about
that movie?
We'll talk for a second about Victory Channel and just what the Christian stuff is. But you got anything other than this? What else you want to talk about?
As far as Q?
No, about anything. Let's talk about Joe Biden for a minute. You want to?
No. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. You looked like you had no ideas, so I was going to.
No. I just want to take a moment to shout out all the lovely black women who were tuned into the inauguration, crying, throwing up their pinkies, giving out the ski wee. I was just responding with the big 5 ski. Love y'all. Let's hold them to the fire, though. Let's hold them to the fire. That's my thought. Someone asked her during the parade, asked Kamala, what is the first thing you're going to do? And she said, get to work. And I sincerely hope that means getting to work, doing what they said they would do. You've got the House. You've got the Senate. Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Do you think they have the Senate? Do you think they really have the Senate?
In a way.
Do you trust Joe Manchin?
This is true. The fucking turncoats. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he's been shamed. He'll be whipped into somebody else. Somebody has to, on the Democratic side, has to Frank Underwood his ass. They got to find some shit on him and be like, listen,
platform.
You're gonna toe the line, or this is all coming out. You understand?
Yeah.
So they gotta do some Trump shit, because that's the only way I feel that Trump got all those people to just blindly stick with him through all this shit. Because if enough of them had dissented, the people would have gone with them. You know what I mean? But he Frank Underwooded their ass. He did too much shit, just like Frank Underwood would do.
Well, I don't think moving forward now that this travesty of the last 4 years is in the rearview mirror, copying them is clearly not the way. This is not the way. It's just, I will be, if like you said, Haas, I'm on everybody's ass now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will be damned if I have to listen to lip service for another 4 years. No, you're going to do some shit, because we're behind another 15 years as opposed to 4 years. We're way in the hole now. We got a whole bunch of shit that needs to get done quickly, expeditiously, right quickly. And even though it's Democrats and I'm not a left or right guy, I don't fucking care. But I'm going to be twice as critical, because this is an opportunity to get a lot of shit done. And I swear to God, if they blow this, I'm lighting their ass up.
Well, they blew it in 2009 and 2010. Doing very little. Lilly Ledbetter and ACA, the only things that they were able to pass when they had all the opportunity in the world to pass, good stuff. And like it's that's not to say that every single Democratic piece of legislation I support, because that's absolutely false for me to say that. But I do think that the largest pieces of legislation that I do support happen to be on the side of the left, with the possible exception of defending free speech. Now, the Republicans complain about being censored, but they forget the fact that they're responsible for their own posts, and that Facebook and Twitter are not the government, so therefore not bound by the Bill of Rights. And like we watched on Parler the shit that was going on there, that was going on unregulated completely. And, we showed it on our own screen 2 weeks ago. And so we aren't just making this up and saying, oh, there's crazy stuff there. You can go back to that video during the Capitol riots and read what we put on the screen. It's there forever. Dozens of clear calls for violence. And there also were people, when I was listening,
got the ammo, need extra ammo,
and ammo's all sold out. You can't buy any ammo right now.
I still can't get my Ford card in Illinois. It's still so backed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's you'd go to buy a weapon right now. The only thing you can maybe buy is a 22 caliber rifle. That's really it. You just can't. So it's because, and I'm not saying it's all right wingers buying that. I think it's a lot of people on the left who've decided they need to protect themselves against these crazy people. And it's not really frightening to me, but I can understand why it's frightening to a lot of people, because there is going to be stuff that happens. I mean, just when I was listening to the Great Awakening today, the QAnon channel, the guy was, and rightfully so, kind of rightfully so. Let me asterisk this statement. There were people in his chat who they were reading the comments from who were saying, I'm going hot. I'm going live. I can't take this. Right. And they're like, no, we're not violent. We don't condone violence. But they said this like 4 times. So he didn't say it by accident yet. He said, we're not supporting violence yet. Now, the video, of course, is deleted, because they delete all their videos after they go live. So that's not being censored. That's deleting your own shit to protect yourself from
liability.
Right. Thank you. In fact, there was one QAnon supporter actually who I laughed my ass off. He apparently jumped ship and said, for the last 4 years, I just want to be clear, I never believed in any of this stuff. It was all satire.
You guys are just not big-brained enough to get my humor. This has all been comedy. Comedy style.
Funny. That is funny.
Yeah, and Wilmer is saying, talking about the filibuster. I'm sort of torn on the filibuster. We don't really have time to get into that today, but that is an interesting thing to talk about. I'm also kind of torn on the court. I don't really believe they should stack the court. What I think they should do is wait for Alito and Clarence Thomas to retire or die, and then go back to 7. I see no need for 9 justices. I don't buy into this. Oh, well, as population grows, the court should grow. We don't have 2 presidents now because the population's double. So that to me, that does, my personal opinion, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But as far as Victory News goes, though, and other such right-wing publications, they now, you said the other day, Big Hussein, that your dad is a Victory News guy.
Victory News and United Patriot News.
Does he know that Victory News calls their main news show America Stands? Think about that name for a minute. Why would you name your show America Stands?
Come on, man.
Not no card carrying commie like that goddamn Kaepernick. That's for damn sure.
Goddamn shit.
But does your dad get that? Does he know that?
You know something? My dad's a complicated human being. He's been through a lot. I just love him anyway. That's
sure
that's
you
my,
love. I mean,
I'm just saying that
him.
it's hard to.
Maybe he doesn't realize that part. I mean, when's the last time
Oh.
you saw anyone who not a white male on that program?
That doesn't matter much,
It
It's
shouldn't, but it does.
It's about ideology to him. You know what I mean? And like I'm saying, there's with my pops, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there that feeds into what he believes, and I can't get into it because it's not my place, and I don't have the openness to talk about all of that. So,
well, I have to deal with that with my own folks too.
I love you, pops.
As CM says, stack the courts, separate church from state until they get it. I agree with the second part of that. I'm not sure that we need to stack the courts to do that. You could do that with a court of 1 or a court of 100. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I'm not opposed to them changing the way that the Supreme Court is set up because
no,
I think it's been demonstrable that the whole for life thing needs to go.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
It needs to go.
I think a lot of conservatives agree with that too.
Like, what 20 years?
Yeah, I'm with that.
20 years is plenty.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I also think they should put term limits on Congress people.
100%.
I think a 20-year benchmark for anything, Senate.
Because after 20 years, what the hell are you still doing there?
Right, except Mitch McConnell, just fucking everything up and stopping everything from being voted on. You know what I mean? Like it's and that doesn't mean you have to have a bunch of 20-year-olds in there, but it means that these guys, they accumulate so much political power and so much backing from these corporations that they really become unbeatable. And when someone like, AOC or on the right, like Lauren Boebert win an election against a corporate Democrat or a corporate Republican, it's newsworthy because of the fact that they overcame a pretty amazing odd. It's not like they lost to someone of the other party. They got primaried from within their own party because someone went further to the left or the right, depending on the situation you talk about with both of those cases, but they're so in bed with big oil and with big pharma and, with these other, and a lot of times big tech, among other corporations that, it's almost impossible for someone to come in and beat them. The name recognition is one thing. They already have an advantage with just the branding of their name. And then you add the money to that and it makes it for basically an oligarchy. Yeah.
And we need fresh blood. We need fresh blood in there. Like, sorry, love you, Bernie. But you got to go. Like, it's time. And that's not really a life that anyone should choose to lead anyway. Where you're when you're in DC for 40 years, but you live in California. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to, you did your stint, you did your part of public service. Now you need to saddle up and head off into that sunset. Like, you need to go live your life and go back to being a regular person again, instead of just sitting in DC for half of your life.
Facts.
I agree with that. So let's move off of this for a sec, if you guys are okay with that. And I actually do want to talk about what Haas brought up. Sort of gets us a little bit talking sports, but it's still social issues within sports we will talk about because that comes up a lot with Eric Beiniemy. Go ahead and tell me, you can start us off with Eric Beiniemy, still a head coach, or still not a head coach, I should say.
Still not a head coach.
Eric sleeping with Beiniemy, as Chris.
Yes, as Chris Berman used to say. I don't know if most of y'all know or not, but the NFL is about what? 80 to 85% African American. And they're now a total of 3 minority coaches.
It's 69%.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I forgot about the punters.
Yeah.
Forgot about the punters.
Yeah.
My bad. Nice. Okay, so but there's
69.3 to be exact.
And then when you talk about black head coaches in the league, you've got
Patrick. By the way, Patrick Mahomes is that 0.3. So
right.
Womp womp. Anyway,
you got Brian Flores,
who's very good in Miami.
You got Salah, who's a Muslim. He's not necessarily black though. You got Brian Flores, and you got
Terry Fontenot.
Terry Fontenot, who just got the job. But then he get a job. He got a job as GM. We're talking about head coaches. It's even worse when you look at GMs. But
oh, you're right. You're right. Terry Fontenot just got a GM job. I apologize.
That is correct
for the Falcons. Right. That's my mistake.
I forget. There's another black head coach, and I should know this. And I'm sorry if I don't remember the guy's name. But
you're from the Steelers.
Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
How could I forget that? I love Mike Tomlin.
Gotcha.
You have Ron Rivera, which we should mention.
I'm talking about black head coaches, though.
Right, I know, but he's not white, so I mean,
no black. Yeah, well,
that was my one NFL nugget that I can contribute, and I'm glad I helped.
Thank you.
So, but here's the thing: as Shannon Sharp was talking about today, the goalpost always seemed to move, and he was asked what's going to happen. And he said nothing. Nothing's going to happen because at the end of the day, the owners are going to hire who they're going to hire, and they talk about wanting the best candidate, but it always seems like the best candidate is white. They say we want somebody with head coaching experience, and they hire Joe Judge, who's doing well, but he was a special teams coach. He never called any plays. They said they want somebody as a coordinator on the offensive side of the ball. And then they hire a defensive guy. Then they say, oh, well, we want someone who used to play. And then they hire somebody who didn't play. Then, the goalpost, and it's like we just hired the best candidate. We just hired the best candidate. We want somebody with experience. And then you got all these 30-somethings that are getting head coaches' jobs.
They bring in Urban.
Yeah, and they bring in Urban. Previous NFL experience. Then they bring in Urban Meyer or Nick Saban or somebody who didn't have NFL experience when he first came in to the Dolphins. And he up and left the Dolphins.
Yeah. What an asshole.
So the goalposts always seem to move.
Sitting under the tanning bed for 5 hours a day, by the way, Nick Saban does not make you black.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. When we talk about best qualified candidates, we're talking about the offensive coordinator for the defending Super Bowl champs. Okay. We're talking about the offensive coordinator who used to play the game. He was a college and pro running back. We're talking about an offensive coordinator who runs the practices. Now, Andy Reid is the head coach, but Andy Reid sits in his golf cart and Eric Beiniemy runs every practice. Eric Beiniemy basically runs the team. And he's been pretty much the assistant head coach since he's been there. And, all these jobs are going. On the bye week, nobody called him for a job. And then Deshaun Watson made a huge stink about it.
Yeah.
And so the Texans decided to try to call him and finally interviewed him this past Monday. But guess what? He's still not looked at as a true candidate for that job because they got their eyes on somebody else. Just like when the Texans hired the search firm to find their GM. And the two top candidates were a Muslim guy and a black guy. So guess what happened? They said, fuck that, and hired a white guy. So this is what we're talking about, people.
It's so embarrassing.
It's a fucking farce. They've tried to incentivize giving black qualified blacks a chance to interview for jobs, but it's all smoke and mirrors. They interview the same, like you got
and Saint of God 3 on Twitter is saying the Tampa and offensive and defensive coordinator are black, and the Bills defensive coordinator are black.
Yeah,
he said not hired, guys, but I think he meant not getting interviews.
Not even getting interviews. Yeah. Hey, guess what? The defensive coordinator for the Chargers, their defense was ranked in the top 12. Guess what? Pep Hamilton. He's been a great defensive coordinator for years. They don't even talk about him. You know why? Because these teams interview the same 2 or 3 black guys for the position before they hire a white guy. Every year, I've watched it happen.
And what happened? Remember the Packers hired, or forget who it was.
They hired Ray Rhodes.
Ray Rhodes, right?
He went 8-8. He went 8-8, and they fired him.
Yeah.
He went 8-8, and they fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Lovie Smith was 10-6. They fired his ass. How they been doing since then?
Yeah, and that was a big mistake by the Bears too. Lovie Smith actually, he's doing very well at Illinois, I should say. So big.
He just got fired from Illinois, though.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah. About 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't even know.
They've been moving, and that's another thing.
Very well with the recruiting there with them.
Well, here's the thing, dude. This is the thing. When you do get the job, you get a job like that's a rebuild on a historically bad team, like Todd Bowles got the Jets job, and then they say, "Hey, we're going to give you this dumpster fire of a franchise to run, and if you're not winning in 3 years, you're out of there. You're out of there." Meanwhile, fucking Dan Quinn presided over the biggest collapse in Super Bowl history, and then kept his ass on for 2 more years.
Yeah, it seems like the only black guy that gets, because the NFL has this problem with retreads, right? Like,
but here's the thing: the only guys that get second chances are the white coaches that get hot. Like, for instance, Andy Reid himself. Andy Reid himself.
Romeo Cornell's the only one who's.
But he'll get the interim job, and then he's out of there. But you think about Andy Reid; he got fired from the Eagles. He didn't even make it 6 days before he had a new job. But the average time for a black head coach went like, hey, where's Raheem Morris for the old coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I do think though that Andy Reid's not a good example, because Andy Reid is an excellent coach. I think.
How long did it take him? Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying. I think there's far better examples than Andy Reid. I think that if Mike Tomlin were to get fired,
hey, guess what?
Look at Adam Gase. Adam Gase is
Adam Gase got a second chance. Jason Garrett was
Tom
in
Fox,
the running for
another perfect example.
John Fox, yeah.
Did I say what I say?
You said John Fox. You said John Fox, and there's John Fox too.
Oh, okay.
How do y'all feel about the Rooney Rule?
It's a farce. It is a farce, because they use it and they say, okay, we'll interview our token minority, and then we hire who we want to hire. And that has literally happened, where they interviewed the token minority on Monday, and on Wednesday they hired a guy that it's been reported that they were after the whole time.
Yeah, and Saint of God
here get around the rule.
Saint of God again says from Twitter that Golden State was on the rise and they took that job from Mark Jackson. I agree with that, though I will say that
Steve Kerr did a great job. Steve Kerr's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's a great
coach. But
far as
Stephen Clay or not Stephen Clay without Mark Jackson putting that team together.
We
know that.
We can broaden this out from just the NFL. I mean, this transcends into hockey is probably not a good example, but
baseball.
But baseball is. I mean, look at the what percentage of that league is Latino,
right? And it's not a whole lot of.
And then you have. I want to say there's 6 Latino coaches, still way better than what the NFL is doing,
right?
And I think they have two black coaches. If Dusty Baker's still a coach, I forget.
He means managers. Yeah. They got Dusty Baker's still a manager.
As a manager, but there's it's just that, like, when they say they like to hire from certain positions, and they'll say like, oh, well, we like to have, quarterbacks, or, in baseball, catchers are almost always the ones they're the smartest, or the game managers are the ones who are, calling the pitches. So, they're the best suited to be a manager, and many have, including Sandy Alomar, who was a Latino, obviously, right. But like Joe Girardi.
Hispanics make up 31.9% of the baseball league.
Of the league, right? And there's, I believe, 6 Hispanic coaches.
Search that now.
Yeah, if unless they've hired, it is the off season. I haven't been paying attention, but I believe that number is 6, possibly 7. So it's so all in all, there's 9 minority head coaches or managers, I should say, in baseball.
They said it says here, in all, there have been 10 Latin-born full-time managers in the MLB.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Zach Taylor getting hired was crazy sweet.
And the greatest of all of them, by the way, was Felipe Alou. Moises Alou's
Moises Alou daddy.
Alou's
Fun
dad,
fact
yeah.
about Moise Alou, he used to pee on his hands before he go bat.
Yep, he did. He would pee on his hands.
Bastard. That's just nasty.
You know
what?
He said grip.
Yeah, he made the bat.
Oh,
stick.
I'm sorry. I'm doing the pepper grinder. My bad.
Easy,
For myself.
Easy, Jill Scott.
So
How many times did he have to pee? Did he do that every time?
No, he regularly peed on his hands. He said it made his hands rougher, so he had better grip on the bat.
So let's.
I want to know how he found out that. How did you find that out?
How do you find out
what else did he try first?
When you pee on your hands, you have a better grip. How do you find that out?
Yeah. How do you get into? How do you know what? I think I might do today. I've really been slumping. What could I do? I think I'll pee on my. I'll pee on my hand. You know what he probably did is he got sloppy one day or drunk, peed on his hand by accident, hit a home run.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened.
And that's it. So baseball players are notoriously superstitious.
Oh, I didn't wash my right sock, and I got 3 hits. So I haven't washed it in 12 years.
Hey, who the hell washed my socks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now you go into a slump. It's like, remember that movie, The Fan, with Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Where he's got to have El Ocho, and then he kills
El Once, 11.
El Once. Right. So he kills.
And he kills Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. And then they put the 8 patch or the 11 patch on him, and then all of a sudden he can hit.
Oh. Yeah. And then when he asked him, he said, "So how'd you get out of that slump?" And he was hoping that he was going to say because of the number. He's like, "I just stopped caring. I just stopped caring."
I'd love to stop Karen. The Karen, you know which Karens I'm talking about.
I don't.
No, the Karens on YouTube, you weirdo.
Oh, the Karens.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
it would be great it would be great if like every time a Karen was about to Karen when Karen's Karen. We had terrible Terry Tate from the Reebok commercials, the office linebacker.
Yeah.
Hello, yes. That would be amazing.
I'm going to just put this out as a PSA. Just know all these little grumpy Trumpers are going to be in a full-blown Karen mode when they go out.
Yes.
When they go out to the store now, there's going to be an extra layer of salt.
It's going to be almost like when OJ got off. You remember that shit?
We celebrated too loud.
Dude, it was impossible for black folks to get a job. My name was Hassan Stevens on the resume. Shit.
Not today. Should have thought about that before you let LJ out.
Hey, here's what was funny when OJ got off. I was temping at the time. And
at an escort.
I sat out. My name was Chocolate Change. And I or Silk Lavender on Thursdays.
Wild.
I sat out in the parking lot and listened to the verdict get read. And then I went into the agency to pick up my check. Oh my Lord. You should have seen those white women's faces. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for my check. And it took a while. I was like, man, I wonder if they're back there spitting in my check before they give it to me.
Like, we couldn't find your check, sir, but here's 33 other people's
check. Dude, it was almost like they thought it was a paper airplane the way they gave it to me. Like, fuck out. Because I came in like, hey, how y'all doing?
We're not going to bill you. We're not going to bill you today. Don't worry. No, it's on the house.
Oh my God. It was crazy.
They give you a check. They give you a check. It's not even in an envelope this time.
I know. It's just take your check and get the fuck out of here.
My check was only for $135. You gave me $11,000.
Yeah, it was crazy because
then they called the police.
I don't know, Mikey. I don't know about you, but you might not be old enough, but I just remember the looks that I got just walking around in the general public for a couple weeks after that.
I was little. I was little.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was just like people looked at you like you were OJ for like 3 weeks. It was wild. Anyway,
hey,
moving on. You're muted. You're muted.
Professional.
You're muted.
All right.
There you go.
But yeah, everybody has. It wasn't my fault. It was the Democrats' fault.
Hey. Stop talking like that. That time is over.
No. It's never going away. In fact,
it's gone.
I've heard that Trump might call in to the new show. He's heard about it.
No.
I hope he does. I'm hanging right up on his ass.
Yeah.
Sending him
We
straight
need-
to voicemail.
We need to put a DOA. Don't even answer. Don't answer that.
We're not going to make a habit of during most shows of putting comments up on the screen, but there's a couple that I do want to just pop up real quick. Because Irish Swede did bring up the Rooney Rule, so thank you to him for bringing that up.
I said it. I read it.
And then he maybe wants to see his name. And then Saint of God says, by the way, the Browns GM is black and they got better, and the Dolphins GM is black, they got better. Do we need more evidence that they can do the job too? Those are very, very good points as well. And then last but not least, there's your boy. So, and look, the first ever What's Up DOA from Jenna. Thank you for acknowledging the new show.
Hi, Jenna.
How you doing, girl?
So answer us,
mama now.
answer us this question, Big Hussein.
Yes.
How is your cigar? Oh, actually, hold on. We got to cue that fucking music for you. I didn't give you a segue there. I didn't give you a warning.
Thank you.
So let's.
You got to give me a warning, man. I'm not your wife.
No, we're like I said, we're keeping this shit to an hour now. So no, I don't warn her either. Just so you know.
Oh, here we go.
She.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to the Humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffin' and drinkin' today. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection, and the VFU podcast is not responsible for you being weak effing sauce. Now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
I'm not on drugs.
Big Hussein, what are you drinking? You told us what you're drinking, but how are you liking that fucking smoke and that drink together? Give us your analysis and grade on the first ever Dig on America podcast, Humidor.
It's called Analysis.
Oh, shit.
Give us
All
your
right, like I told-
analysis.
Pause. As I said earlier, I'm puffing on the La Flor Dominica, or LFD, Double Ligero.
Look at him trying to ours.
I've got the Toro today, which is the 6x54. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's all right. LFD is known for their strong ass cigars. Okay. And this is no exception. I mean, very powerful, full body cigars. Man. Very strong. Okay.
You got your first question. There it is.
I got my first question. Let me read it.
It's right on the screen in front of you.
He was in another window. I'll read it out for you.
Did you get that cigar from Famous Smoke Shop? And did you use the promo code Rudy? I did not. But the next time I'm on Famous Smoke, I'll use that promo code. I'm always trying to get a deal so my wife don't
What happened to the Trump? What happened? I thought we were smoking a Trump 2020 today.
Ain't nobody say nothing about smoking a Trump 2020. I said I was going to burn it up. Okay, but I didn't get a chance to get to the shop today to grab it and burn it up because
so it's outlived Trump then.
Yes. But I'm thinking about.
Well, the election was stolen anyway, so it should still. Yeah.
I might just burn the ban and give the cigar to someone that
it'll scream.
With.
Remember those rumors about the Dungeons and Dragon pieces? If you burned it, it would scream.
Yeah.
The cigar will go, they tell me very, very good things.
So, this cigar, lots of pepper. And I told you I was kind of on pepper, right? Lots of pepper throughout. I mean, from the first puff till now, I'm about 2 inches in. Pause. Because this is a 6 by 54. and the pepper has been there. I'm getting the leather nuance when I'll puff, let some out, and then breathe in that smoke as it wafts up. I'll breathe a little bit in, and you get the leather. You can almost taste it. I don't know if you've ever I was a curious child, and I bit a belt. I tasted a belt, like a leather belt, and you could taste it. I could taste the leather, and got some spice to it.
I don't believe a word of that story. I think you know the taste of leather from other things.
That's not. No, I'm on the other side of that.
SSSSMMM.
Not me. So the wrapper is Ecuadorian Sumatra. The origin is the Dominican Republic. When I say the origin is the Dominican Republic, that means all of the seeds, no matter where they're from, were grown in the Dominican Republic. So the wrapper.
That'll be my thing. Dutch has Honduras. I want Dominican Republic.
The wrapper is Ecuadorian
Dominicana.
Sumatra. Now, Mikey, the binder and the filler are
República Dominicana.
That's right. That is correct. And as you can see, it's a pretty dark cigar. You know, let me move my shadow.
Dark cigars matter.
I'm sorry, my mouth has been a little bit wet today. Pause. So the tip is a little bit more moist than usual. Pause. I mean the cap is a little bit more moist than usual.
Well, mushroom stamp never hurt anybody.
So, as you can see, just a little hint of vein. Pause on the wrapper. Okay.
Is it our fault, Dutch, that every single word that has to do with cigars is sexual in some way?
Cigars are very sensuous, man. They're very sensual.
When we were talking about the new name, I seriously thought about just pause as just the name of the podcast.
Pause podcast.
The pause cast. Yeah.
Now, if you see,
poor flow state.
A little bit. The burn is a little wavy.
We love you, bro. We love you, man. But we finished. We talked about you.
Yeah, sorry. We already talked about you, dude.
Not you personally, but
now there's not as much flake on the ash, and I ashed it purposely at about 1.5 inches. Pause. Just because it was I could tell that it was gonna go out if I didn't tap that ash. So I had to tap that ash to keep it lit, and then it still went out. So that's a little bit of a negative. I actually have it paired today. You know something? I would describe this cigar as Clubber Lang, because it's really like in your face. It's really aggressive, and then I paired it with a little bit of sophistication.
Oh, what you got?
A little bit of sophistication. I got the 19 Crimes, the Warden.
That's a good one. What's
good cigar?
So I have another request. Can you do the rest of this review as Lando Calrissian or Billy D?
I can try, baby.
You can be the Gambino or Billy D one.
This is the LFD Double Lejero. And
calm down, Kenna.
Very strong cigar. So you want to make sure that you've had something to eat, and you want to also make sure that you get a little retro hell action going.
The galaxy's a little bit lighter tonight, a little bit brighter tonight, because this cigar is so sweet.
And you know something? When I smoke a cigar this strong, I want to have something to balance it out. So I went with the smooth sophistication of 19 Crimes.
Oh,
the Warden. Series wine.
And you're the warden of my heart, baby.
And if you don't know the story of 19 Crimes, it's an Australian wine company, and the 19 Crimes indicates the 19.
Now you sound like a pastor, not Billy D.
19 Crimes that
Maine
in England. If you got convicted of one of these crimes, you could either be hung or go to jail for the rest of your life, or you could go to Australia to help
Free-
build that, to help
free-
colonize.
Free tickets.
Or you can go to summer camp at the YMCA.
So
All
now
right.
the wine brings out a little bit more of the, surprisingly, the woodsy aspect of this cigar. I get a little bit more wood note after I take a sip, and also there's a little tiny bit, just a dash, a splash, just a little sweetness that gets brought out by the wine as well.
A little red pop flavor.
Do the
No, more
what's
of a date. It's like a date almost.
for the warden? What's special about that vintage? Because I remember one of them did something.
The warden is declared by
No,
his
no,
master,
like-
by his
like-
majesty, to be punishable on conviction by transportation.
Pre-pause.
Yes.
Good
For
call,
the,
Float State.
For the no, so it's like that's a Cabernet Sauvignon. Isn't it? Don't they put it in different barrels or something like that, or
It doesn't say. It's a red.
Maybe I'm thinking
Southeastern
about the other one.
Australia. You might be thinking about the other one.
let me look.
So I'm looking here. It
Probably a
celebrates
blend.
those who carefully ruled these cunning convicts with the top guard, using them as a source of labor to build public facilities. These men and women, both the incarcerated and their custodians, were the building blocks of the nation we would come to know as Australia.
Well,
So
thank
these
goodness
weren't
for that.
these weren't actual convicts. These were people kind of sent there to herd over the ones that were convicted and sent there.
Ah, the white convicts. See,
Mm.
I get it.
They're like trustees.
Yeah.
You know, they were entrusted to make sure that those people stayed in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They were the
Really
ones
good, really good wine though.
martial
and-
arts training.
I ate, but I changed my workout. So I'm running through the food that I eat a lot quicker. My metabolism. So I'm getting a little tipsy with this. And I've only drank about half of what I poured in here. So that's why I had to get something to eat, because I was getting hungry again. I just ate like an hour and a half ago. Well, a little bit more than hour and 45 minutes ago. But I'm already getting hungry again because I changed how I'm doing my workouts now.
You getting hangry? Are you getting hangry?
No, not hangry, just a little hungry. My hands, if my hands start shaking,
Ooh,
then you're in trouble.
Watch out. Then you better watch.
Then
out.
you're in trouble.
What we got for a rating on this bad boy there?
I give this a 4.55
Ooh,
A
that's
4.55
I don't-
out of 5.
out of 5. 5 leaves being the highest. 4.55 leaves.
Okay.
I don't like the wavy burn, because guess what? I don't even have the heater on down here tonight because I was kind of rushing. And
I'm not Russian. I'm Dutch. Thank you.
right, but I was kind of rushing. My middle name is Boris.
Melania is going back to Russia, though. They said that I'm wondering the over/under on when the divorce is filed.
She is not from Russia.
I know that,
Isn't she Slovakian or something?
but it used to be part of Russia. So therefore,
Everything was part of Russia.
make Russia great again. It used to be part of Russia. They claim her. Okay, they claim Melania.
As you can see, it gives off a moderate smoke. Even when I take a deep drag, pause. It's kind of a moderate wispy smoke. Remember, I was smoking the Schizo last time, and I take a deep drag, and it would get a nice volume of smoke. And this one is just consistently a moderate. Even just sitting here,
Oh, so it's a Joe Biden cigar.
it's a moderate smoke. It's a
moderate.
centrist. It's a centrist smoke,
Yes. It doesn't take a
which
it
is
doesn't
fine.
it doesn't take a position. So that's the difference, by the way, for those out there who think, because I've called myself a centrist many times, and I believe that I am to a degree. But centrist it means something different to me than moderate. Would you guys agree with this?
They're different definitions.
Yeah, a moderate. But people say centrists don't have opinions. Moderates don't have opinions. Centrists, or
Centrists have
independents.
kind of an equal on each side type of opinion. Like me, I believe in the death penalty. You know,
no, I don't even think that's right. I think it's that you don't pull your opinion from a party, you pull it from common sense or facts, and you believe in it 100%. You're just not, you're not like, it's not like
I'm a Democrat, so I believe this, or I'm a Republican, so I believe this.
Here's the definitions.
Give it.
Are we done with the humidor? Yeah, we're done with that, right?
Yeah. Well,
yes, we're done with the humidor. Thanks so much for listening. We'll smooth that out a little bit more later. And we're trying a new format, so it's a little disjointed.
So a moderate is considered someone occupying any mainstream position, avoiding extreme views and major social change. And then for centrist,
definitely not a moderate.
So centrism is a political outlook or position that involves acceptance or support of a balance of social equality and a degree of social hierarchy, while opposing political changes which would result in a significant shift of society strongly to either left or right.
Yeah, I see.
But I don't know that I say I'm either one of those. Then
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that. But see, those definitions are somewhat ambiguous as well, because like I think that if somebody says like you can be moderate or a centrist on a particular issue, like you might be. I'm somewhat a centrist or moderate, I guess, on immigration, right? Because I believe that we need immigration reform, but I don't believe in all the stuff that the Trump administration was doing, and I don't agree that we should have open borders. When I hear an idea like merit-based immigration, I see the common sense in it, but I also see how it would be used in racist ways, right? So if I were doing it merit-based, it would be fine, but I'm not the one doing it by merit-based. People who may have ulterior motives are doing it. So the philosophy might be sound, but the application of the philosophy is not always as sound. And
right. It's kind of like
we need to check
how eugenics, the philosophy was shitty anyway, and then even shittier people used it in a racist way, so that made it even extra shitty, more shitty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So, and with that being said, as we close out here, if anyone thinks that and I've said this 100 times, but if anyone thinks that we're not going to be critical of the Biden administration,
even more, the expectations are higher.
Yeah, we're going to be far more critical of the Biden administration than we
I've already got beef with Biden already.
The man ain't even gone to sleep for first night yet.
I got beef with Biden. You know why?
Why?
Like in the last couple of days, he said immigration would be his number one priority in his administration.
Right.
I'm pissed because
if he goes back,
it was far more black folks voted for him and got him in office than Latinos. And
do something for us. That's
specifically black women. So, because without Stacey Abrams, you know what I'm saying? And for you to say immigration is my number one priority, and I'm still giving the Heisman to any discussion of reparations, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with you hiring, they call him Mr. Monsanto. You're nominating that guy to run the EPA. What the fuck?
Seems legit.
You know what I'm saying?
That company, okay, that we got to sign off, but that company is fucking monstrous. Monstrous. And like they're at the top of the food chain when it comes to shitheads. You know, they are. Monsanto is like, you got Monsanto, Shell, you know, and it just goes on from there. You know, probably 6 pharma companies next. But Monsanto is like, these motherfuckers will fucking plant a field.
Oh, don't start that shit. Don't start that shit.
With what?
At least Trump's campaign met with Ice Cube as a pure publicity thing.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were talking to me. But Monsanto will plant a field next to someone else's field.
Yep.
then let's say they're organic, they're trying to do it organically, which Monsanto does do some okay things. They have this rice that is like got a whole bunch of nutrients in it that they gave for free to some countries. So that doesn't make them every
but
person there evil.
hey,
but
Brown gave out turkeys every Thanksgiving.
Right. So, but they will if their seeds blow over into the other field, they will sue that person for selling their product right out of business.
100%.
And that person can't sell their product as organic because it has their Monsanto, all that GMO.
Cross-pollinated. It's been cross-pollinated.
Right. Yeah. Right. So
assholes.
We did have a couple of real quick things to comment. One of the listeners, I forgot who asked what we thought about. Do we think Trump? It was Saint. Do we think Trump will run for president again? And then Tim asked, what do we think of the Trump media platform? I don't know that we have time to delve into those today because I think my quick answer is I don't know on Tim's question, and I don't know on the other one either. I'm not sure if he'll run again or not. I think.
Well, he's trying to start his own party, isn't he?
Yeah, but that we'll have to talk about it. That we can talk about that on the next show. I think that's a topic that's going to be very, very deep. So, with that, yeah. So it's a clear pause. Mikey, any closing shots?
I hope he can use all $10 billion he has. No tax return, motherfucker. And he's gonna have to buy all his own shit because no one is gonna host that.
Yeah,
no one is.
He's gonna have to bring that. He's gonna have to do that all on his own.
They're gonna have to make their own servers. They're gonna have to have their own.
I don't agree with that. I think that these server companies see that money and they know that they've got 75 million possible people.
But they're not worth big money because you can't advertise with them. You know, that's why they're always selling
My Pillow.
My Pillow and
My Pillow and Papa John's.
My Pillow, Papa John's, Hobby Lobby, Chick-fil-A, and ExxonMobil. There you go.
They're not gonna get corporate sponsorship at all. So that everything's gonna have to be in-house and paid for themselves, and they're just gonna fizzle out because they can't sustain that. They can't sustain being an island like that, which is why everybody else has to play by the.
Did you just mention Epstein Island?
I can't do Dutch today. Can't do it.
Pause.
Can't do it.
He can't do you today.
Can't do
today.
it.
Tomorrow.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. Like one in a. Your love is a 1 in a million.
It's so. I mean, if they want to branch off and do their own thing, they'll be just like the little grassroots movement that turned into the Tea Party and where's the Tea Party been? Chilling because they're
all QAnon now.
Yeah,
they went with the young guns, the way of the young guns. So only McCarthy remains from the Republican young guns, Emilio Estevez and
you know what? Their base, their whole group is so inwardly toxic that it won't be long before they're chewing each other's heads off within the first month or so, even if they get the shit going. Because if somebody says anything that isn't crazier than the previous thing said, then they call you a pussy and they get you right out of there. So,
well, I guess we'll see. But of course, day one tomorrow, and I will be posting this every day for those who think we're going to be Russia in a week. We're still not communist. Let's check back tomorrow and see if we're communist by then. But with that being said, I think that this is going to be a good format. I appreciate everybody checking out the show. For those of you who are your first time
listening,
yeah, absolutely. If it's your first time checking us out, we ask that you subscribe over on YouTube. You can check out the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is going to be, actually, you know what? It might still be the same because I'm not sure if it's updated yet, but I changed the YouTube channel today to Dig on America podcast. So that should be the new YouTube channel, but it may also still be Voice from the Underground podcast in the short term, because I think that change takes a few days. So check for both of those. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, we will post a link to the YouTube channel in the show notes of this show. Also, if you want to check us out on Twitch, for the moment, it is still twitch.tv/VFU podcast. That's V as in Victor, F as in, it's not, you changed it? Oh, because it's showing up here as still being VFU.
You haven't refreshed your page.
Oh, okay. So it is what now?
DOA podcast. Twitch.tv/DOA podcast.
All right. And Tim Bristol says he can't wait for the communism.
Bring on the communism.
I vote for you as first czar, Tim, even though there were no czars in communism, but still. I did hear on Victory News today, though, they said the ancient Egyptians were communists.
Of course they were.
Oh, yeah.
Of course they were.
Of course.
Yeah,
they were political innovators. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dutch.
Communists.
Yeah.
You want some outro music?
Yes. Let's give us outro music. We'll see you motherfuckers later.